So I believe we have to start from text 12. न साधु मे नेतः सर्वा भूतले यावति पुरः कामं कामायमानोऽसौ तस्योपपातये. King Puranjana had unlimited desires for sense enjoyment. Consequently, he traveled all over the world to find a place where all his desires could be fulfilled. Unfortunately, he found a feeling of insufficiency everywhere. Srila Vidyapati, a great Vaishnava poet, has sung, Tatala saikate vari bindu sama sutamitra mani samaje. Material sense gratification with society, friendship and love is compared herein to a drop of water falling on a desert. A desert requires oceans of water to satisfy it. And if only a drop of water is supplied, what is its use? Similarly, the living entity is part and parcel of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who, as stated in the Vedanta Sutra, is Anandamaya Abhyasat, full of enjoyment. Being part and parcel of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the living entity is also seeking complete enjoyment. However, complete enjoyment cannot be achieved separate from the Supreme Personality of Godhead. In his wanderings in the different species of life, the living entity may taste some type of enjoyment in one body or another. But full enjoyment of the senses cannot be obtained in any material body. Thus, Puranjana, the living entity, wanders in different types of bodies, but everywhere meets frustration in his attempt to enjoy. In other words, a spiritual spark covered by matter cannot enjoy fully or cannot fully enjoy the senses in any circumstance in the material life. A deer may become absorbed in the musical sounds vibrated by the hunter, but the result is that it loses its life. Similarly, a fish is very expert in gratifying its tongue, but when it eats the bait offered by the fisherman, it loses its life. Even the elephant, who is so strong, is captured and loses its independence while satisfying its genitals with a female elephant. In each and every species of life, the living entity gets body to satisfy various senses, but he cannot enjoy all his senses at one time. In the human form of life, he gets an opportunity to enjoy all his senses pervertedly, but the result is that he becomes so harassed in his attempted sense gratification that he ultimately becomes morose. As he tries to satisfy his senses more and more, he becomes more and more entangled. Srila Prabhupada explains here how no material situation can actually satisfy us. Prabhupada is giving the example of few drops falling in a desert. And how can few drops satisfy the need of a desert? So similarly, material permutations and combinations, although they may appear to be giving some temporary one-sided satisfaction, but all-around satisfaction can never come. Rather, that one-sided satisfaction leads to further entanglement, further misery. And for that purpose, giving the example of this elephant being caught because of the drive of the genitals, the fish getting caught because of the taste bud, and so on. So the lesson here is that, okay, material permutations and combinations are futile. They cannot satisfy us. So it doesn't matter which permutation, which combination, any permutation, any combination can never fully satisfy us actually. And therefore, Prabhupada is concluding by saying that more the attempt to enjoy in human life, more the harassment, therefore more moroseness and more entanglement. Rajshambhu says, in this material world, no situation, no object is perfect and complete. So just like if you say every object has its name, its form, its qualities or attributes, so nobody in this material world can be perfect in all three name, form, qualities. Rajshambhu describes, just like somebody may have a name which is attractive, but the person may not be attractive. A name may be Lakshmipati, but the person may be a beggar. So there is anomaly in this material world everywhere. Somebody may sing very nicely, but then may not have good qualities. So there is anomaly. All perfectness, if we try to find somebody, is there anybody who's all perfect? Name is perfect, his form is perfect, his qualities are perfect, experience is perfect. Is there anybody like that? If you try to search out, that perfect embodiment is Krishna, nobody else. So therefore, Puranjana is completely frustrated. And the interesting thing is, the solution to the frustration is going to lead him to further frustration. Sa ekada himavato dakshinesha athasanusu dadarsha navabhir dwarabhir puram lakshita lakshanam. Once, while wandering in this way, he saw on the southern side of the Himalayas, in a place named Bharatvarsha, that is India, a city that had 9 gates all about and was characterized by all auspicious facilities. The tract of land south of the Himalaya mountains was the land of India, which was known as Bharatvarsha. When a living entity takes birth in Bharatvarsha, he is considered to be most fortunate. Indeed, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has stated, Bharat bhumite haila manushya janmayar janma sartak kare kara para upakar. Thus, whoever takes birth in the land of Bharatvarsha attains all the facilities of life. He may take advantage of all these facilities for both material and spiritual advancement, and thus make his life successful. After attaining the goal of life, one may distribute his knowledge and experience all over the world for humanitarian purposes. In other words, one who takes birth in the land of Bharatvarsha by virtue of his past pious activities gets full facility to develop the human form of life. In India, the climatic condition is such that one can live very peacefully without being disturbed by material conditions. Indeed, during the time of Maharaj Yudhishthir or Lord Ramachandra, people were free from all anxieties. There are not even extreme cold or extreme heat. The three kinds of miserable conditions, Adhyatmika, Adibhautika, and Adidaivika, miseries inflicted by the body and mind itself, those inflicted by other living entities, and natural disturbances, were all absent during the reign of Lord Ramachandra or Maharaj Yudhishthir. But at present, compared to other countries on earth, India is artificially disturbed. Despite these material disturbances, however, the country's culture is such that one can easily attain the goal of life, namely salvation or liberation from material bondage. Thus, in order to take birth in India, one must have performed many pious activities in a past life. In this verse, the word Lakshita Lakshanam indicates that the human body attained in Bharatvarsha is very auspicious. Vedic culture is full of knowledge, and a person born in India can fully take advantage of the Vedic cultural knowledge and cultural system known as Varnashram Dharma. Even at the present time, as we travel all over the world, we see that in some countries, human beings have many material facilities, but no facilities for spiritual advancement. We find everywhere the defects of one-sided facilities and the lack of full facilities. A blind man can walk but not see. A lame man cannot walk but can see. Following the logic called Andhapangu Nyaya, the blind man may take the lame man over his shoulder. And as a blind man walks, a lame man may give him directions. Thus, combined they may walk, but individually, neither the blind man nor the lame man can walk successfully. Similarly, this human form of life is meant for the advancement of spiritual life and for keeping the material necessities in order. Especially in the Western countries, there are ample facilities for material comforts. But no one has any idea of spiritual advancement. Many are hankering after spiritual advancement, but many cheaters come, take advantage of their money, bluff them, and go away. Fortunately, the Krishna consciousness movement is there to give all facilities for both material and spiritual advancement. In this way, people in the Western countries may take advantage of this movement. In India, any man in the villages, unaffected by the industrial cities of India, can still live in any condition and make spiritual advancement. The body has been called the city of nine gates, and these nine gates include two eyes, two ears, two nostrils, one mouth, one genital organ, one rectum. Now, when the nine gates are clean and working properly, it is to be understood that the body is healthy. In India, these nine gates are kept clean by the villagers who rise early in the morning, bathe in the well of the rivers, go to the temples to attend Mangalarati, chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra, and take prasad. In this way, one can take advantage of all the facilities of human life. We are gradually introducing this system in different centers in our society in the Western countries. One who takes advantage of it becomes more and more enlightened in spiritual life. At the present moment, India may be compared to the lame man and Western countries to the blind man. For the past 2000 years, India has been subjugated by the rule of foreigners, and the legs of progress have been broken. In the Western countries, the eyes of the people have become blind due to the dazzling glitter of material opulence. The blind man of the Western countries and the lame man of India should combine together in this Krishna consciousness movement. Then the lame man of India can walk with the help of the Westerner, and the blind Westerner can see with the help of the lame man. In short, the material advancement of the Western countries and the spiritual assets of India should combine for the elevation of all human society. Here in the description of the land of India is given. So this land of India being described as a city of 9 gates is analogous to the body which is having 9 gates. Srila Prabhupada explains that this body offers an individual both the facilities, material as well as spiritual. Just like Prabhupada explained, the country India offers an individual both the facilities. So we see that we can see these both facilities in action. Just like, say for example, the body offers one material facilities, because you see how, because the body has an inbuilt mechanism to keep itself in a balanced state. The body has many such inbuilt mechanisms which can take care of one materially. If the person is, say for example, if a person follows very simple routines, the body keeps very healthy. So it's not required for health to give 3 hours for exercise. Very easily the body maintains itself. One simply has the habit of getting up early, he sleeps on time, he eats on time, he eats natural foods, body will be healthy. One does, the body will be healthy. If one keeps optimum physically working with the body remains healthy. One does a little 5-10 minutes exercise, serotonin is released. So you see, these are all mechanisms. The body has facilities for material well-being. Similarly, the body also has facilities for spiritual well-being. Why so? How? Because we see that the body is meant for austerity. The body is not meant for comforts. The body is meant for austerity, not comforts. Because in austerity, the body is healthy. In comforts, the body gets disease. That's a proof. Similarly, the mind is meant for natural settings, simple settings, not artificial settings. What is the proof? Natural settings, mind is peaceful. If one is staying in a hut, one will never get depression. Natural settings, mind is very peaceful. Artificial settings, skyscraper building, one will get depression. One will get various kind of complex thought processes and so on. So we see spiritual facilities. The body has spiritual facilities. So the body is actually meant for spiritual facilities. Like Radheshyam Prabhu quotes this article on in the Reader's Digest, Wired for God by a Harvard professor. Human brain is wired for God. Wired, W-I-R-E-D, wired. That means when God is there, human brain develops and functions to the best. That's a research by a Harvard professor. It came in Reader's. It came in Reader's Digest. Yeah, positive research. Came in Reader's Digest. So Radheshyam quotes that. So that's the point. Spiritual facilities. Now, then Srila Prabhupada mentions that just like in India, a villager can have facilities. So actually, the point to note is that we must say, okay, Western countries are excelling in facilities. India is lagging behind. Yeah, India, Prabhupada is explaining, okay, India is lagging behind because 2000 years of foreign deploration has taken place. Therefore, it is lagging behind a bit materially. But Prabhupada also explains, you see, even a villager, he will be very pacified and very peaceful in India. So why? Because a villager, what is the difference between villager and city person? A villager is accepting the supply of the material nature. A city fellow, he wants to create his own artificial. That's the point. Even very basic logic speaking, this point is true. If you want to purchase a land in city, you may have to pay for 1 acre, some 10 crores, 20 crores, like that. 2-5 crores. If you want to take a land in a village, 1 acre, then may have to pay 9 lakhs. Simple logic also, one can understand. So this goes to show that actually materially we don't need much. But the actual starvation of life is coming from spiritual starvation. The emptiness in life is coming from spiritual starvation. Materially we don't need much. Just like food. How much food do we need? We don't need much food. So people say, okay, for living, I'm for living, I have to earn. Okay, but how much food one needs? One doesn't need more than 80 rupees worth of food a day. We don't need. We don't need more than 80 rupees. 80 rupees one can survive sumptuously, is it not? We've seen in the Western world also, $150 you can survive eating in a month. If you're a little more casual, $200. That's it. You can survive. You can survive very easily. You can survive. We had gone to Singapore, $100 we had survived, right? It was $200 for both of us, right? Huh? Singapore dollar. Not $200. It was $195 for both of us. That'd be $200 for both of us. Okay, so $250, $125 we survived. $125 whole month fooding, and we were eating good. We were not eating miserable. We were eating vegetables every day. We were taking milk every day. No, that's fine. We were making chapati. We were eating rice. Uh, uh, we were buying fruits also. Fruits also we were buying. So, so we survived. No. So the point is that one doesn't need more. So what is the talk of earning going on? Where is the talk of earning going on? So even a labor can manage that 80 rupees, 100 rupees a day. He gets 350 rupees per day, like that. So one day he works, then he can manage four people, no? He can manage four people eating. That's the point. So we simplify so the materially we don't need much. That's the point. And therefore, unnecessarily stretching on the material axis is not going to give us increased happiness. This is the proof, and that's why that the Western civilization is a dull and dark and bleak civilization. Why? Because they are materially they have stretch themselves to extremes, but spiritually they are on the brink of starvation, death. They are on the verge of death owing to starvation. That's the point. Therefore, Prabhupada is telling that, okay, you may call India as a lame man. You may call India as a lame man, and you may call the Western countries as a blind man, but why can't both work together? That's what Prabhupada is saying. But actually, India is not a lame man also. Like many times, Bhakti Purushottam Maharaj says that, okay, we are thinking, okay, we will do some benefit to these tribal people. And many times, Bhakti Purushottam Maharaj says, okay, it's not that these people are lacking. They are following actual culture. We have gone astray. That's the point. So, obviously, when Maharaj is telling they, he's referring to the people who are completely following that culture, not those who are enamored and bewitched by the Western culture, the city modernization, and all that. Because a villager who is in the village is a tribal, he is doing farming and he is living a simple life. He is much more satisfied than us. That's the point. That's the point. If he's doing some cow protection, he's doing some farming, and he can lead a quite a fulfilling life, quite healthy, quite fulfilling, and all that. Whereas we go artificial. That's the point. That's the point. But even if you call India as a lame man, and it's like, okay, the lame man can give directions. Yeah. But Prabhupada is telling, so why can't both work together? The India, they can give directions, then spiritual directions, and the Western people can make the wheels move. That's what Srila Prabhupada is stressing here in this purport. So now the point to note is that Puranjana has been exploring so many areas. India is not his first, in Hindi you call it as padav. India was not his first padav, his first stay put. He had been trying out hundreds and thousands of options. In the same way, the living entity tries out hundreds and thousands of bodies. Somehow or the other, he lands up into a place where he can get some spiritual facilities. Like Puranjana has somehow or the other landed up into the place called India, which is opening doors towards by offering now some spiritual facilities. So this junction is a rare junction being mentioned. It's not that Puranjana did not explore other bodies. He is exploring hundreds and thousands of bodies he has already passed through. He's searching here and there, everywhere, everywhere, everywhere. And now somehow or the other landed up in India where there is an offer for some spiritual facilities. And that is Puranjana. So what kind of spiritual facilities? He will get one friend now. He'll get a friend, well-wisher friend. Yeah. He'll get a genuine well-wisher friend. That city was surrounded. Okay, we'll read the verse. Prakaro pavanathala parikher aksha torane swarna ropya yashe shringe sankulam sarvato grihe. That city was surrounded by walls and parks, and within it were towers and canals, windows and outlets. The houses there were decorated with domes of gold, silver and iron. So the body is protected by walls. What is the walls? Of skin. The hairs of the body were compared to sparks. Oh. And the highest parts of the body, like the nose and head, they are compared to towers. The wrinkles and the depressions on the different parts of the body compared to trenches or canals. So the eyes are compared to windows and the eyelids are compared to protective gates. And the three kinds of metals, that is gold, silver and iron, represent the three modes of material nature. The gold represents goodness, silver passion, and iron is ignorance. The body is sometimes considered to be a bag containing three elements, three dhatu. So bile, mucus, and air. Yeah. So bile, mucus, and air. That is pitta, kapha, and vayu. Yasyatma buddhi kunape tridhatuke. According to Bhagwatam 10:84:13, one who considers this bag of mucus, bile, and air to be the self is considered no better than a cow or an ass. The interesting thing which is mentioned here is that this tract of land, which is India, is not only spiritually filled with a lot of assets, but it is very attractive, even externally. That's an interesting point which is mentioned here. Now, it has towers, it has canals, it has walls, it has protective gates. There are these domes of iron, silver, and gold. So, and Prabhupada is giving such a beautiful analogy that how the body is analogous to the description of the city here. The head and the nose are the tower, the depressions are the canals, and the skin is the wall, the eyelid is a gate. The three modes are goodness, passion, ignorance, gold, silver, and iron. So, so even externally speaking, we see that the body is complex and the body is wonderful. Just to understand the body, many mechanisms of the body people still don't understand. Is it not? And it is wonder striking actually. And body is complex and the body is quite intricate and it's quite amazing. Since hundreds of years, people have been researching to get to understand, to know what's happening in the body or what is this body all about, and still they don't know fully. Is it not? So, and hundreds of more year of research can be done, to be able to understand that. So this is the interesting point. So it's just like, you see, it's just like, see, the interesting point is that where there are spiritual facilities, that place is not materially bogus. That place is materially attractive. But where there are no spiritual facilities, that place can also be materially attractive. But there is a difference. The difference is that material attraction without spiritual facilities is complete enticement, is complete bewilderment, an illusion, intoxication. Whereas that physical attractiveness, along with spiritual facilities, that place is not enticing, is not intoxicating. Just like material nature, you see, is materially attractive. If one goes into any landscape, it is materially attractive, but that attractiveness doesn't bewilder a person, is it not? That doesn't bewilder a person. Like if one sees gold, then one can become greedy. If one sees a woman, one can become lusty. One sees material nature, one will not become lusty, greedy, envious, and so on. Is it not? Seeing trees and river, how can one become lusty, greedy, and all that? The point is that material attractiveness, along with spiritual facilities, is not fooling, is not cheating. But without spiritual facilities, material attractiveness, simply cheating. The person is cheating himself. He's getting self